Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the In-Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing the new arrival video for January 7th, 2022, the very first new arrival video of the year. Not a ton of stuff. Again, we got a little bit of lag left over from that end of the year where they just don't have very many new releases, but better than last week. Very first thing I'll talk to you about is a couple of pre-orders. Some killer pre-orders were announced this week. The first was Kenny Dorham's Matador from Impex. Impex, one of my favorite analog labels. Matador is a fantastic record. Originally, I think it came out on, was that the United Artists label? I think it was United Artists. Fantastic record, very difficult to get. Cost a couple $100 if you can find it. I think it's limited to 5,000 if I'm not mistaken. So they're numbered, you know, Impex uses that gold sticker. That's actually coming out next month. They did an SACD of it a couple months back. But yeah, February 2022, we are getting the vinyl version. That is available for pre-order on the website. Ishmael Riviera, this is a Fania all analog release. Lo Ultimo en la Avenida. Maybe that's what that's called. That's what I wrote down. All right, January 28th, all analog. I want to say Kevin Gray maybe has done some of these in the past. I'm not 100% sure. But Fania has been doing a killer job with their catalog reissuing stuff. A lot of the titles are all analog. They're doing the Stoughton heavy tip-on jacket, and they're like mid-$20 records. So they've actually done a fantastic job with that. You know, they're doing some salsa, you know, some killer Latin titles, stuff that really needed to be redone, stuff that's impossible to find originals of, at least here in Arizona anyways. Never, ever, ever come in. 2 Blue Note Classic titles were released for February 18th. Joe Henderson's Inner Urge and Lee Morgan's Caramba. Both awesome albums. I love Inner Urge. That's a great record. Anything Lee Morgan is fantastic. Let's see, all analog, cut by Kevin Gray. You know the drill with the classics. Fantastic record. But my favorite new arrival that we've had in some time is finally, I talked about this a little bit on the live stream, and I actually had an actual Stoughton tip-on cover jacket, but I left it at home. But I actually have a little artist proof here that I've had framed and put in the store for the cover art. The Wild Times. This is a record that I am releasing with my buddy in conjunction with Ramco Records. It is essentially it's a mostly unreleased psych record from the 60s that never came out. They were essentially tracks that were recorded as, they're not, I won't say demos because they essentially were finished tracks. So they were recorded, multiple tracks were recorded, maybe about 20 tracks in total were recorded. We called through the archive, got all the original master tapes in various formats. Some came 2-track, 3-track, there were some 4-track tapes in there. And I assembled, essentially, from those tracks, a very killer, cohesive record. Now, there is maybe 5 of those tracks floating around. I think it's 5 were floating around my buddy before he decided to ever do a physical release of them. He licensed some of these off for some sync licensing. But there's some low-quality versions of 5 of the tracks on this floating around. Nowhere near the caliber sound-wise of what's on this record. So we took these original multi-track tapes, 2-track, 3 tracks. We sent them to Chris Marr over there at Welcome to 1979, who essentially is a reel-to-reel tape dealer. He has the Marr machines, which are essentially repurposed MCI machines. So he was the guy who had multiple tape machines to actually do this project. He assembled from all of the various formats a new 2-track tape, which was then sent to Bernie Grunman. He cut it direct from the analog 2-track tape, press plated at RTI, Stoughton tip-on jacket. It's really the absolute best way you can put a record out. I mean, real nice insert, comes with a sticker, numbered on the back. They're on purple vinyl. Some people asked me if I was worried about purple vinyl. I told them, you know, I mentioned the Music Matters purple vinyl, or the Music Matters blue vinyl. They did a gold vinyl. They did a splatter vinyl for some of the Music Matters titles, and they sounded fantastic. So it wasn't something that I really worried about. And as you could see, it's got a really nice purple cover, and the record kind of matches it. Plus, you know, Music Matters did that on really nice, quiet jazz records, and it wasn't noticeable. They're colored vinyl records from RTI. And again, those were really quiet jazz records. This is a heavy psych fuzz record. I mean, so it's not as, but again, I don't think it's something that you're even going to hear. I've already started a pre-sale on it. It's coming June of this year. It might come a little bit early, you know, fingers crossed, but I don't want to tell you guys June and then end up being December. So I'm fairly confident on June or maybe even before. But again, there's only 1,000 of them on purple vinyl, and they're already half sold out. So if it's something you're interested in, get a pre-order in it. It's a killer psych record. And if you go to the website, check out the page, I actually put a little 17-second clip that I loaded to Instagram maybe a year ago of me playing the master tape on the MPEX at the house. So you can kind of get a little bit of the vibe of this album. Great record, 10 tracks plus 2 Beatles covers, George Harrison covers. So it's 12 tracks total on the album. Okay, Wild Times. Really looking forward to it. Got a restock of Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. This is not the Kevin Gray cut version, but it is the standard Fleetwood Mac Rumors. But it is still Rumors and very, very, very desirable. So people are looking forward to it. It's crazy. Rumors. 10 years ago, $1 record, couldn't sell it. Now, clean copy, $40, sells in 2 minutes after putting it on the shelf. Oasis, what is this? Dig Out Your Soul. Looks like they did a I don't know if this is a brand new, I don't think that's a brand new pressing, but it was new for us. Crown Lands, White Buffalo. This is a universal title. All right. From Kraft, Travis. This is the Invisible Band, the indie exclusive, first ever vinyl reissue. Looks like this originally came out 21 years ago. This was a pretty popular title the first time around. They sold out immediately. This is Greta Van Fleet's newest album, but this is the indie color exclusive. So what is this? This is on white vinyl. Double disc on white vinyl. Has kind of this textured cover with the gold foiling. Pretty nice package. This is actually from my top 100 in-print analog records you should own. Now, it looks like they kind of pulled a little bit of a fast one, so I'll make a little update to that list, and I'm going to end up taking this record down. This was cut by Kevin Gray at Coherent, his new facility. The original was cut by Kevin Gray at Acoustic. I don't have confirmation of this, but from what I heard, the original was cut from the master tape. The reissue was cut from a digital file, which would be this one. But it sounds absolutely fantastic. It's a great sounding record. There's also Astral Weeks that came back in. I'm going to have to crack one of those open and check the dead wax. I'm not sure if it was done at Coherent. You know, it'll be KG at Coherent. I think he put CO or maybe CA. And in the dead wax of the record. But Astral Weeks, maybe they did that digitally, or maybe they did that from, you know, an analog tape digital file. I'm not sure on that. But with Neil Young, you can always be sure. Another record from my top 100 in-print analog records you should own. Neil Young's Everybody Knows There Is Nowhere. Fantastic record with Cinnamon Girl. All analog. Killer job. I think Chris Bellman did the cutting on that. All right. Rhino, Start Your Ear Off Right. Aretha Franklin Sparkle. Nice cover. You know, tip-on jacket. Heavy cardboard cover. Doesn't say, let's see here. This is on crystal clear vinyl. Great record. Soundtrack. This was actually produced by Curtis Mayfield. Together, Pangea. Die. And this is a record that they've actually, it's nice because you're not going to get seam splits, but it's kind of like quasi-opened because of it. But what is this? Just black vinyl. All right. Enya, May It Be. Taken from the original motion picture soundtrack, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Man, I feel like they're a little late to the party with this one. But here it is on vinyl. LA Guns, Riot on Sunset, the best of. This is on limited edition pink vinyl. What do we got here? Yumi Zauma. Alternate versions, Truth or Consequences. This is on orange and Coke bottle green vinyl. Includes a free album download. All right, what in the world is this? Some squirrely stuff today, boy. Carolyn Wonderland, Tempting Fate. Hard to see, all that shrink. But yeah, Tempting Fate. I'm actually probably going to see if I can give this a listen, just because of that photo and that photo there. It looks interesting enough for me to want to give it a listen. Aha! See what I did there? Hunting High and Low. This is another Start Your Ear Off Right. This is on limited edition green vinyl with, of course, Take On Me. Also, there was the big Start Your Ear Off Right title was the Lost in Translation soundtrack that came out for Record Store Day a while back. That's going for buku money. I've got them coming later on this week. It was extremely heavily allocated, so I don't have many of them. But they're actually doing a second run of them, so don't pay crazy money for them. If you don't get it the first time around, I will have more coming on the restock. Another Start Your Ear Off Right, the soundtrack to Juno. And this is on neon green vinyl. Good soundtrack, Sonic Youth, Cat Power, Belle and Sebastian. Here's a great record. I got it back a little bit ago, sold out, and it was awaiting repress for quite some months. Drama Rama. Great record. Has Anything. Great song. Actually, the record itself is enjoyable. I really dig this record. A lot of people have told me that their newest record, which is here, Color TV, is actually really good. I haven't listened to this because every time I put it on, it's just I can't help myself. I put on the other album. But I mean, they did a great job presentation-wise on this. Heavy cardboard cover. Cool, large hype sticker. And it essentially, pimps out the rest of their catalog there. All right, and this is actually a reissue from last Record Store Day, Fountains of Wayne. Welcome, Interstate Managers. This is on red vinyl. I don't know what the Record Store Day version was. I think it was on a different color, but huge album. I remember this album quite well growing up. It has Stacy's Mom, which was a smash hit for them. But great pop record. All right, guys, small week, but we've got a ton of restocks coming this week, all weekend long. Also, there's a ton of great analog, titles coming out at the end of this month. There's, I want to say, the Blue Note Tone Poet box set. They're starting to announce tons of Tone Poets, Blue Note classics. The Marvin Gaye What's Going On, all analog, cut by Kevin Gray. That's coming up soon. So yeah, check us out online, www.theingroove.com. Until next time.